Well, that's the last of them, Mr. Dodd. Good night. Dad usually picks me up after work on Saturdays. I can just about set my watch by him. Right on the nose. I suppose Dad had counted on my going into the contracting business ever since he got his own outfit. To him, there's nothing as beautiful as a new construction job. I guess it's natural he'd want me to feel the same way. It was hard to tell him I had other ideas.
Maybe Dale wants time to think about it.
Time? Well, graduation's only, 6 weeks away? Then it's only 3 months to college. I don't know of a better way for him to spend the summer. You'll be coming into the firm one of these days. You might as well be getting the feel of it.
You'd better get set for a shock, Dad.
Oh?
I think I want to study pharmacy this fall.
Pharmacy? What's the matter with the construction business?
I haven't definitely made up my mind on anything, Dad. I mean, I may want to give pharmacy a try, so I figured on working for Mr. Robinson this summer, full time.
The drugstore. Well, I hope you change your mind. What do you know about pharmacy anyway?
Well, I haven't worked at the store very long.
I know that. What I mean is, how much training does it take? What's the future in it? How much money?
I guess you've got me there, Dad.
Look, son, I want you to make up your own mind. But I thought you were going to college so you could be an asset in our business.
Dale's talked to me about this, and he has some good ideas. Don't jump on him, Joe.
I'm not jumping on him, Martha. Son, it's just that I want you to be sure this is what you want to do. And it seems to me the first thing is you've got to get some facts.
Well, it took Dad to show me how much I didn't know. Before we got through, he had a list of questions a mile long. I started by finding out all I could at school. I cornered my chemistry teacher after lab on Monday. He's the one who put the idea of pharmacy in my head in the first place. He suggested I see our vocational counselor and get the most recent dope on pharmacy, like college requirement and the chances of getting work. I'd had the aptitude tests and all that, but I hadn't taken them too seriously.
There's another thing in your favor, Dale. You've done a highly respectable job in mathematics, and there's certainly nothing wrong with your record in the sciences.
So you think I ought to go into pharmacy?
Frankly, I can't decide that for you. There are at least half a dozen major fields you can qualify for.
Boy, I don't see how you can make up your mind.
Well, there are other things beside aptitude and grades. What interests you is important. Why do you like it at Robinson's?
Well, I guess it's partly meeting people, and, well, a lot of people come in and they don't know what they want. You have to help them decide.
Maybe what you like is selling a service.
Yeah, maybe. You get to know a lot of people that way.
A few weeks ago, you told me your father expected you to take up the construction business after college. What happened to that idea?
Well, Dad says he wants me to make up my own mind.
Well, here's my suggestion. You go over the analysis of these tests with your folks. You have all the main points there. I've a hunch you'll be happiest in that type of work that gives you a sense of service, a personal service to many individuals, and service to your community. Think it over.
Okay, Miss Stewart. Thanks a lot.
Boys his age are unpredictable, Joe. Maybe he'll come around.
Yeah, maybe. That's what worries me, Doc. I'm not so sure. The boy has a stubborn streak.
Well, after all, he could do a lot worse than a career in pharmacy.
But how far away from contracting can you get? Last fall, it was industrial engineering, then business management. Now, those I could understand.
Your boy going to be a pharmacist, Joe?
Well, looks like it could happen.
Good profession. I considered it myself once.
You did?
That and medicine.
Is that a fact, Bill? True. Boy's been working at Robinson's part-time. I should have been breaking him into my own business.
Is that the Robinson Pharmacy?
Yeah. You know Robinson?
Very well. Jeff's a member of my church board and quite active. Your son couldn't have run across a better example of the profession.
You met him, Joe?
Oh, I suppose once or twice. Not to get really well acquainted with him.
He's all right. Jeff spends part of his time at the hospital pharmacy, and I see a lot of him. An exceptionally capable fellow. I call him almost every day whenever I need information about new drugs.
Then you think pharmacy is not too bad. Is that right, Doc?
Well, I'm a doctor. The way I look at it, the pharmacist, the doctor, and the nurse are all on the same team. Why, today, Joe, a doctor can do without a pharmacist and a nurse like he can do without his two hands.
More coffee, Bill?
Thanks. Just half.
Doc, how much does a pharmacist make?
What, he does all right. Owns his own business, has his own house. What do you want your boy to be, a millionaire?
No, I just wondered.
Good morning, Mrs. McEwen.
Good morning, Dale.
May I help you?
Yes, thank you. I want to pick up my sister's prescription.
All right. I'll speak to Mr. Dodd. Excuse me.
Sister.
I dug up all the facts I could. Mr. Dodd works for Mr. Robinson as the store's full-time pharmacist, and he set me straight on a lot of things. He hopes to buy the store when Jeff Robinson's ready to retire. Meanwhile, he's making a good living. Mrs. McEwen's sister has been sick a long time. Mr. Dodd says she's learned she can count on the service at Robinson's. That's why she comes back. He says you sell a little piece of yourself in every transaction.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Randall, isn't it?
That's right, Beacon Drug Company. Mr. Robinson in?
I know, he's over at the hospital.
Oh?
He's on the staff over there now, part-time, has charge of the hospital pharmacy.
Oh, I want to talk to him about a new drug we're releasing next month, and I want to leave you some literature on it.
Fine.
Perhaps I can find Mr. Robinson over at the hospital.
I'm sure you can. Say, got a minute or two you can spare?
Of course.
Oh, Dale. Mr. Randall, this is Dale Saunders. Dale's interested in pharmacy as a possible career.
Nice to meet you, Dale.
Well, Mr. Randall.
Dale, Mr. Randall is a sales representative for the Beacon Drug Company. Maybe he'll tell you about it. Oh, excuse me.
Are you in school, Dale?
I'm graduating in a few weeks.
Then off to college, I suppose.
I hope so.
Well, my job's like every other job. If you can do it and you like it, then there's none better.
Are you a pharmacist?
Yes, I am. Most sales representatives for drug manufacturers are pharmacists. Do you like selling?
Well, I think I'd like this kind of selling in a retail pharmacy.
Well, the most interesting part of my kind of selling is introducing pharmacists and physicians to new products. We have a wonderful opportunity for keeping track of the latest developments in medical treatment.
I see.
And we get good pay. That's a consideration these days.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Whenever I enter a doctor's office, it's for the purpose of acquainting him with such new combinations as this, for example, or treating a patient with high blood pressure. And then I always carry this with me to remind myself that a doctor's time as well as my own is valuable. My real commodity is health. My mission is to help the doctor extend the life of his patients. I'll tell you something, Dale. I can sell drug products because I believe in them. Now, that may sound corny, but if I do my job well, I may be adding several years to somebody's life, and that's a good feeling.
Martha, what am I supposed to do about Dale?
You've done very well, Joe.
Now, it's over a month since this thing started. He's more determined than ever to take up pharmacy.
Has he talked to you again?
Talk? Oh, yes. Martha, this thing it just gets to me. There's no use in my denying it. Well, maybe I counted on it too much. Joe Saunders and Son. I should have talked to him a long time ago. Now here he is, ready for college. And where am I?
Are you worrying about Dale or about yourself? Oh, it would be nice to have him take over your business someday. But at the expense of his happiness? You wouldn't want that any more than I do.
Martha, if I could just be sure.
Dale is the one who has to be sure. And I think he's going to make a very good pharmacist. Oh, come on now, cheer up before the Gilkinsons get here. This is a dinner party, not a wake.
Air conditioned?
Sure, completely.
All new buildings should be. I can't figure these people who think that a window ought to open just because it always has. Dale here won't have to worry. By the time he takes over the business, people will be educated to air conditioning. When's school over, Dale?
A couple of weeks, Mr. Gilkinson.
I expect you'll be going right in with your father then, won't you?
Dale's going to college in the fall.
Oh, good. We have 2 fine engineering colleges in this state.
Excuse me.
Certainly. What branch of engineering, Dale?
Dale has the idea he wants to study pharmacy.
Well, it's pretty well settled, Mr. Gilkinson.
Pharmacy? What's wrong with that, Joe?
Did I say there was anything wrong with it?
No, but you certainly don't look very happy about it.
Dale, it's for you, Mr. Dodd.
Excuse me.
What? Dodd.
Yes, he's the pharmacist down at Robinson's. Dale works there.
What in the world's he calling here for at this hour?
An accident or something, he said. He said there was an emergency.
Okay, Mr. Dodd, right away. Dad, Mother, they need me down at the pharmacy right away. There's a wreck on the railroad south of town.
A wreck?
It's pretty serious, passenger train. They're starting to bring people into the hospital, and they think they might run short on some things.
Well, what can you do, dear?
Well, they want me to run the stuff over from the store down to the hospital. Mr. Robinson called Mr. Dodd from there and asked him to phone me. Dad, can I have the pickup?
Dale. We have guests here.
Run along, Dale. And be careful.
Okay, Mom.
Martha. Young man. The least you could do is say goodbye to our guests.
Goodbye.
Sit down, Joe.
Must be serious, Joe, if they're expecting to run short of supplies at the hospital. We haven't had a wreck on that road since I can remember. Now, Joe, don't worry about the boy. I don't blame him for being excited.
Excuse me.
Never mind. I'll get it. Hello?
Joe Saunders?
Yes, speaking.
It's Vincent, Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff?
Yes. This is an emergency, Saunders. There's been a bad wreck on the main line. They're going to need all the heavy equipment they can find to move cars. Acetylene torches, too. We're rounding up as much as we can from the local outfits. What can you do for us?
Why,
What'd you say?
we'll be there as soon as I can get the equipment rolling. Where do we go?
3 miles south of State Highway 36 on the River Road. Come ahead of your equipment if you can.
Right.
And on your way through town, you can pick up a motorcycle officer at 3rd and Market. He'll give you the siren.
We're going to need your advice. Right.
Oh, good. Pack those bandages, will you, Dale?
Yeah. Is it as bad as they thought?
Afraid so. Bandages, dextrose, iron tincture. Car in front, Dale?
Yeah, the pickup.
Here, get all this over to the hospital. I'll close up and join you.
Okay.
Our community hospital is a small one, of only 50 beds. It's the nearest hospital to the wreck, but it wasn't built for this kind of emergency. Inside, temporary arrangements were being made wherever there was room. By the time I got there, things were well organized. They were moving some of the patients to make room for the worst emergency cases. Jeff Robinson's the kind who won't take chances. He keeps the hospital pharmacy well stocked to meet most demands on it. There was plenty at first for both the hospital and for emergency treatment at the wreck. Meanwhile, extra plasma and morphine and all that was brought in, and at last there was enough. It was a long night for a lot of people.
Hey, Saunders.
Yeah.
Mac.
Okay, it's all yours.
Take it away.
Well, there goes the last one.
You better call it a night. Let the new crew take over. We can slow down a little till it gets light.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey, Mac, you and Joe call it quits. Railroad crew's got it licked.
Good night, Mac.
Night.
Better get some shut-eye yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Grenville.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Doc. You must have had quite a night.
You don't look so good yourself. Been helping out at the wreck?
Well, little.
Dale's down there to your right. Can't stop now, but Joe, that boy's a dandy. If you want my advice, you let him team up with us. The construction people don't need him as badly as we do. You can be proud of him. Well, gotta go.
Isn't it about time to knock off?
Well, hi, Dad. Mr. Robinson, you know my dad.
Hello, Robinson.
It's a pleasure to see you, Mr. Saunders. I hope you weren't worried about Dale.
No, not worried.
Dad, you've been down at the wreck?
There was a job that had to be done, Dale. Seems they needed some of our equipment, too, to clear the wreckage. I had an idea you'd still be here.
Go ahead with your father, Dale.
Okay. I'll be with you in a minute, Dad.
Mr. Saunders, Dale has talked to me quite a bit about you. I think a father deserves to hear things like this.
Like what?
I have never known a boy to be as proud of his dad as Dale is of you.
Oh?
I expect it's been hard for you to take, this desire of his to go into pharmacy, but it hasn't been easy on Dale either. You know, he's worried because he's afraid he's letting you down.
Well, how's he doing?
He's got what counts, Mr. Saunders. On top of his natural gifts and personality, he has a concern for other people. That's a real asset. In pharmacy, it's priceless.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Dad?
Okay, son. Okay.
Good night, Mr. Robinson.
Good night.